Good morning, and thank you to the conveners for inviting me to talk. My name is Louisa Brotherson, and I'll be speaking today about Black in Geosciences Week, which happened last September and was a completely online event. What started with a tweet sparked a global social movement, which has had a lasting impact in geosciences. And I was on the committee and I was very lucky to get involved in it. But first off, why did we need Black in Geoscience Week? So just to give this a little bit of context and comparing to gender disparities, there has been some progress towards parity for women. There's still a lot of work to be done in this area, for example, as you get further down the pipeline towards professor, but in general there has been progress. There has been little to no progress, however, in terms of racial diversity and ethnic diversity. So you can see that as the number of PhDs in the US has increased for the past 40 years in all areas of geosciences, but the numbers of PhD students who are non-white, so Black, Asian, Native, Hispanic in this study, they've remained pretty stagnant like over the past 40 years, so there's not been much of a change. There's other statistics from the US and the UK that show that geosciences isn't representative of the population in terms of like racial and ethnic diversity. And in other areas of the world, the issue isn't necessarily diversity, it's opportunity. So those networking opportunities, opportunities for longer term careers through tenure track that they lack. So we need to there's all these issues in play here. So that's why we need Black in Geosciences Week. So how did it begin? So we know that last summer the Black Lives Matter movement resurged following acts of police brutality and protests around the world. These movements got lots of Black people, including myself, to reflect on our own experiences of racism and discrimination in our field. So lots of Twitter movements, grassroots ones, emanated from this. So for example, Black AF in STEM, which is to do with Black birders, Black in the Ivory, which is to do with Black people in academia, all showcase the lack of diversity in STEM and other subject areas. From this, subject-specific groups such as Black in Neuro and Black in Chemistry showcased the richness and the breadth of researchers working in these fields, and we wanted to basically emanate that and kind of do that for our area. We're like, where is our week? So Craig sent the tweet, you can see it there. He says, wouldn't it be cool if we had a hashtag Black in Geoscience Week? And along with Manira and Hendretta, they co-founded the week and got us all together. And the aims of the week were to increase representation, create networks, and promote Black geoscientists. So that was how the week was born. So next we started preparing and promoting the event, which was 100% online due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. So the organising committee had a wide range of skills, came from a wide range of disciplines, countries, career stages, etc. So represented the diaspora really. In the initial stages, we held regular Zoom meetings to designate tasks, form like a schedule, and really decide on the work's activities. Our allies worked adjacently with us, supporting promotion of the week. And we're also supported by organisations like Advanced Geo and the Earth Sciences Women's Network to help support our website. And these are the social media platforms we created. Feel free to follow them. Those were established prior to the week so we could get our kind of base grounded and continue promoting it before it even started. So we had thousands of followers before the week had even began, which really helped. So in terms of scheduling, we wanted a week that showcased the science that Black geoscientists are already doing. We are out here doing the work, just sometimes it's hard to connect us and find us. So in this week, we defined geosciences as very broad, so Earth, ocean, atmosphere, exosphere, everything related. So we divided each day into a different sphere to showcase Black geoscientists in each different research area. And then there were events prior to, like on the Sunday and then the Saturday following the weekday main events, which focused on global diversity. Throughout the week, we had special hashtag BIG or Black in Geoscience Week panel events to focus on specific equality, diversity and inclusion issues such as decolonising STEM or retaining Black geoscientists as well. Now onto some highlights of the week, and here I just wanted to showcase the amazing artwork of Meishe Aaron, who's an astrogeologist who was on the social media team with me. Each day had a different graphic like this, and we tried to represent as many different subdisciplines as possible. So this is the Geosphere Day. There's not seismology on it, which I'm surprised of, but you've got tectonics there, so we're kind of represented here. There were several different interesting panels involving Black geoscientists from around the world and around the diaspora. These were held on Zoom and YouTube Live, and there were a range of talks ranging from pursuing geoscience careers to academic research talks to talks on georacism and barriers faced by Black geoscientists, and how lots of Black geoscientists feel marginalised just in doing the work that we kind of do and the work that we enjoy doing. There was also a wide range of career stages too, so you had undergraduates to professors, and these events were really well attended. And for me as a Black PhD student, it was a relief to know that I'm not alone in the experiences that I faced, and that people out there understand me, and yeah, we can share in, you know, our barriers, but also share in our love of geoscience as well. More events included the Black in the Mud Roundtable, which shared the joy of Black geoscientists doing fieldwork. And Dr. Tiara was an amazing host for this. It was really fun. It was an informative discussion. We discussed being Black in green spaces like national parks and the issues and barriers that we can sometimes face. It was a very wide-ranging talk. And the final highlight for me, and probably my favourite event, was the Decolonising Geoscience panel. So it was a question of like, what does it mean? What does decolonising science means? Well, obviously geology has existed for billions of years, the creation of our universe, but the actual study of it emanated from colonialism and colonisation. Colonisers travelling to countries around the world outside the West, yes, bringing scientists along with them to look at the geology, but also exploiting indigenous people and their resources. So Geosciences has this Western lens. What can we do to be more inclusive and include other global perspectives to geosciences? And that was a really cool talk discussing that. Parallel to these live events, we use social media to post viral threads to showcase Black geoscientists and foster those new creations. So first off, we started with a roll call for Black geoscientists to promote their work. And you can see if you just scroll through the timeline, it's just so inspiring seeing the breadth and the variety of Black geoscience going on. It's amazing. We also had different threads on historical Black geoscientists. So, for example, Marguerite Thomas Williams, who was the first African American in the US to receive a PhD in geology. There were also profiles which were showcased on the website highlighting different researchers and people working in industry within the diaspora, and interactive Q&As. So for example, on Exosphere Day there was like a spot the planet question and answer session, and what advice would you give to young aspiring Black geoscientists to keep that momentum going, keep the interactions going throughout the week. So the week would have been much more difficult to organise had it not been for the support of our wonderful allies. So several platforms allowed us to take over their social media accounts for the week, and this was my main role. I managed the Instagram pages of 500 Women in Science, of 500 women scientists. There was also Facebook pages. The AWG allowed us to use their page to spread the word throughout their networks. There was also a lot of media and news coverage, so you can see we had features in the EGU, in Geoscientists too, to promote the week. And finally, we were promoted by universities, through just email chains, and national organisations, international organisations too, so organisations like GeoLatinas and EGU again, sharing the week and promoting it and showcasing Black geoscientists. So did we achieve what we set out to achieve? So our aims were to increase representation, create networks and promote Black geoscientists. So looking at the numbers, we had very high levels of engagement, tweets, sharing, all kinds of comments and things. It was also a great networking opportunity, which created those lasting international connections. Also considering that last year currently we have the global pandemic, it was a great way of networking and was also more accessible being online as well rather than in person. It showed the benefits of representation, how inspiring it can be. And what we hope as well is that it's sparked a longer term change in attitudes and further discussions to do with decolonisation, retention issues and things. And I can see from my discussions with my institution, those conversations are happening more readily. So I can see that there's been some sort of impact already, which is great. So several follow-up initiatives have emerged following on from Black in Geosciences Week. The first type of which is subject specific. So like I said, we've taken geosciences to be very broad for this week, and each subdiscipline could have had its own week, and some of them did. So for example, Black in Marine Sciences Week, which continued on from the work of Black Geosciences Week. Also, people who have participated in the week have started their own initiatives to promote anti-racism work within their institutions. So for example, Unlearning Racism in Geoscience, or URGE, they've set up pods across the US and have lesson plans to dismantle racial biases in the classroom, in fieldwork, and all sorts of things. They're doing really cool stuff. And finally, local work. So what I'm getting involved in at the moment in the UK, we're working with Black geographers, and we're working on a collaborative symposium to showcase research done by undergraduates and postgraduates in the UK. So that's something to look forward to as well. Lots of future work going on here. So to summarise, Black in Geoscience Week raised the profile and created countless new networks for Black geoscientists, and it sparked longer term conversations about race in geoscience, which I hope will continue for a long time. So I'll leave you with the rest of the summary, and if you'd like to know more, you can follow us on Twitter, our webpage, and you can also find me on Twitter or send me an email, and I'll take any questions now. Thank you.